public affirmation of that bond, and as their dearest family and friends, it is our honor and privilege to stand witness to this event. Alex and Tierney, this day is made possible not only because of your love for one another, but through the grace and support of your family and friends. It is their hope that your fulfillment and joy in each other will increase with each passing year. Marriage is a commitment in life where two people can find and bring out the very best in one another. It offers opportunities for sharing and growth that no other human relationship can equal, a physical and emotional joining that has the promise of a lifetime. Well, our love story begins when Tierney and Alex first met up for coffee at coffee time. Alex was pretty late, but more than made up for it with his timeless classic good looks. They ended up taking a walk for 4 hours, all the while getting to know each other. Folks, doesn't this sound like a rom-com already? They had a few more dates and then didn't see each other for a couple of years, remaining friends. And eventually they reconnected and picked up right where they left off. Alex fell for Tierney's compassion, her kindness and respect, and he loved that he could be open and honest with her, just being himself. Tierney has become the most supportive and genuine person Alex has known. For Tierney, she loved how authentic and honest Alex was from day one. His kindness, openness, and compassion won her over. Alex is committed to those he loves and always makes sure others are taken care of. And he was unlike anyone that Tierney has ever met. Throughout their time together, they have built a strong foundation of trust and communication on which to build this marriage. So we gather here today to witness and celebrate an act of deep love. Alex and Tierney, in their devotion, respect, and love for one another, wish to unite in marriage and to dedicate themselves to each other's happiness and well-being as life mates and partners. Tierney and Alex, in marriage you say not only I love you today, but also I promise to love you tomorrow, the next day, and always. In promising always, you promise each other time. You promise to exercise your love to stretch it large enough to embrace the unforeseen realities of your future. You promise to learn to love beyond the level of your instincts and inclinations, to love in foul weather as well as good, to love in hard times as well as when you are exhilarated by the pleasures of romance. You change because of these promises. You shape yourselves according to them. You live in their midst and live differently because of these promises. Alex and Tierney, seeing that no moment is without meaning, we ask that you take this marriage as the beginning of your lives together. Today signifies the creation of a new home and a new family for you both. May you be fulfilled by each other's love and friendship. May you be overjoyed by the promises that you're about to make and the life together that you will create. Remember that in every marriage there are peaks and valleys, times of joy and times of sorrow. But marriage is a journey, a time of excitement and venturing into the unknown, enhanced by the love, trust, dedication, and faith that you share with one another. May the promises that you make to one another today be lived out to the ends of your lives. Tomorrow can bring you the greatest of joys, but today is the day that it all begins. So Alex, will you have Tierney as your wife, to laugh with her, go on adventures with her, support her through life's tough moments, be proud of her, grow old with her, and find new reasons to love her every day?
Always, for the rest of my life. Yeah.
And Tierney, will you have Alex as your husband, to laugh with him, go on adventures with him, support him through life's tough moments, be proud of him, grow old with him, and find new reasons to love him every day? Tierney and Alex, marriage is the beginning of a new life, a chance of fulfilling long-held dreams, and an opportunity for great personal, emotional, and spiritual growth. Marriage endures through the ages of trends and fads. Marriage thrives and continues to live as a promise. You both have had your chance to experience your lives together. With the time that you've spent, you've learned what it means to love one another. Through the highs and the lows, you've learned how to coexist as a couple. Getting married today is only one small, quick step towards the meaning of a true marriage. You don't have to have a ceremony to have a marriage. In fact, when you think about it, this whole process is rather different. We're standing here now, we're dressed fancy, you're holding cloud, you're being stared at by all these people. So why do we do it? The marriage ceremony has been an important feature across nearly every culture, religion, generation, and society. We have thousands of important moments that happen throughout our lives, but this one is regarded as so critical, we acknowledge its special status by sharing it with others. So why this moment? Because despite all of our differences, love is what we all share. It's our one universal truth that no matter who we are, where we come from, what we believe, we know this one thing. Love is what we're doing right. That's why you're both standing here now. That's why we're all here watching you. We've all loved in our lifetimes, and in this moment, we're reminded that the ability to love is the very best part of our humanity. In essence, no ceremony will ever create this marriage. Only you can do that. Through love, patience, dedication, and perseverance. Through talking and listening and trying to understand. Through helping and supporting and believing in one another. Through learning to forgive, learning to respect and appreciate your differences, and learning to make the important things matter and let go of the rest. What this ceremony will do is simply witness and affirm the choice that you've made to begin a new life today as husband and wife. And now you stand before this loving community of family and friends, ready to acknowledge to the world that this is my beloved, the one with whom I choose to create the rest of my life. And now a reading from Union by Robert Fulghum. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car or over a meal or during long walks, all those sentences that began with when we're married and continued with I will, you will, and we will, those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe, and all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know, all of those promises that we made and hoped and dreamed, well, I meant every word of it. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher, for you have learned much from one another in these last few years. Now you shall say a few words that take you across a threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. Tierney and Alex have chosen to use a hand fasting in their wedding ceremony to emphasize their eternal bond. Hand fasting is an ancient tradition symbolizing the binding together of two people in love. With the intertwining of this knot, I will tie all the desires, dreams, love, prayers, and happiness wished here in this place to their lives. With this cord, I will bind Tierney and Alex to the vows they make to each other today. The knots of this binding are not formed by this cord, but by your vows. Hold tight to one another through good times and bad, and watch as your strength grows. May your marriage be blessed with patience and dedication, forgiveness and respect, love and understanding. Go ahead and release your hands. So then it's time for you to express your devotion by the taking of the marriage vows. Alex and Tierney have decided to write their own vows today. Alex, we'll start with you.
Somebody wise once said, "You need to write your vows." And this is the truth. Yes, you do. Life sometimes hits us a little harder than we would expect, and I'm speaking from the heart today. Nobody get nervous here, and honey, I'm just going to tell you how I feel. From the moment I met you, you changed my life. From the moment that you became a part of our life, every single day, the love that I have grows. I never knew that that was something that could possibly happen. I never knew that I could feel so loved and so safe and so comfortable. I never knew that I could heal through the love that we have. You know, and you have shown me that everything in this world is possible with you by my side. I wake up every single morning, I look at you and I smile. When I wake up after you, which typically Tierney will wake me up. But we're just being real, right? And more than anything else, everything we have is based off of truth, honesty, and love. And there's nothing in this world more important than that. You have shown me what it means to be in love. And you have shown me what it means to actually have that feeling in your heart where you know I can wake up every single day for the rest of my life, and you will be the one I think of first, other than this little guy right here. You're a good, incredible mom. You gave that to us. You gave us a family. You show us every day that you're here. You show us every day that you're not going anywhere. You show us every single day how much you love us. I can't ask for more than that. I would never ask for more than that. But I didn't ever actually think it was even possible to have that. You haven't just given that to us. You show us that through every action that you make. Every single day. Every single minute of every single day. I don't know what else in this world is more important than that. In addition to that, I have the most beautiful family in the world that love me, that respect me, that treat. I feel that. I know you guys see me as family. You see him as family, and I feel it. I have never felt anything like that in my life. I've had incredible friends that were family to me. But other than that, I have never felt this. And this is nothing but love. I promise you that for the rest of my life, the only thing I need, I already have right in front of me right here. And you are here every single day. I will be here for you every single day. I give you my word. I love you so much. Thank you so much for just literally just being you, who you already were in the first place. I love you. I want to give you a hug and kiss you, but I can't do that yet. So,
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I have to follow that, so thank you. There's no way I was going to remember, so when we met, I automatically knew that you were someone I needed in my life. Though the roads we took led us in different ways for a few years, the roads ultimately reconnected, which truly makes me believe everything happens for a reason. My connection to you is unlike any I've ever experienced. Your consistency and your unconditional love have healed parts of me I didn't know could be mended. Your honesty and candidness have always been traits of yours that I've admired and loved, and as we've grown together over the past couple of years, it's become so much more than that. Your devotion to your son, our family, your commitment to your own growth, your determination is always at the forefront. You and Mateo are the family I never expected, and you two have been the biggest blessing. Just as I promised to love and support you, I promise to support Mateo in his dreams. Excuse me. To provide guidance when needed and unconditional love to you. When things get hard in life, you've shown me time and time again that you're a constant I can depend on. The rock that's always there, and I promise to be that for you. And to be the hand that you can always reach for as well. I'm so incredibly excited for this chapter, and I love you so much. You almost hugged me.
Not yet.
Tierney and Alex, all of us here today have our own love stories. Some are short, others long. Some are yet unwritten, while others are just getting to the good parts. There are chapters in all of our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are exciting and full of adventure. And that brings us all here. A time to pause, look back, and smile at all the moments that brought us here, and a time to look ahead at all the moments that are still to come. Your friends and family are here because they want those moments for you. They're here to hope with you, to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment. It's not even this moment. It's every moment. Like big ones, like saying I love you, or moving in together, or getting engaged, but mostly a million little ones that come in between the big moments. Falling asleep next to one another, making dinner together, spending holidays with your families, binge watching Netflix shows, getting a big hug when you come home from work. These everyday moments fuse together into one big experience. And even though this experience is so incredible, words fail us when we try to explain it. And that's just the way it is with love. It's meant to be felt and not described. So having this type of love in your hearts, you've chosen to exchange rings as the sign and seal of the vows that you've made here today. May I have the rings, please? Though rings may appear small in stature, they're large in significance. Made of precious metal, they'll remind you that love is not cheap nor common. Indeed, sometimes love will cost us dearly. The circular design tells us that we must keep love continuous. So as you wear these rings, whether together or apart for even a moment, may they be constant reminders of the vows that you've made here today. So if you'll go ahead and take her ring and place it on her finger.
It's an honor. You ready?
Does it go over the engagement ring?
It's either way.
As we can tell, I don't know how to do this, and I never will need to know again.
And now, Alex, repeat after me. Tierney, with this ring,
Tierney, with this ring,
all that I am
all that I am,
and all that I have,
and all that I have,
I give to you.
I give you
Today,
today.
I'm proud to make you my wife.
I'm proud to make you my wife.
Tierney, go ahead and place the ring on his finger. And repeat after me. Alex, with this ring,
Alex, with this ring,
all that I am
all that I am,
and all that I have,
and all that I
I give to you.
I give to you.
Today,
Today,
I'm proud to make you my husband.
I'm proud to make you my husband.
Tierney and Alex, you have just sealed your relationship by the giving and receiving of rings. And this covenant is a relationship pledge between two people who agree that they will commit themselves to one another throughout your lives. The most beautiful example of this partnership is the marriage relationship. You have committed here today to share the rest of your lives with one another. We also recognize the significant role that the children play in the marriage celebrated. Mateo will join Tierney and Alex in this commitment to each other by contributing individually themselves into one blended family. Today, this relationship is symbolized through the pouring of these individual containers of sand. One will represent you, Tierney, and your family and all that you were, all that you are, and all that you will ever be. And one representing you, Alex, and your family and all that you were, all that you are, and all that you will ever be. And another one representing Mateo and his life before him. As each sand container is poured into the family's one united container, the individual containers of sand will no longer exist, but will be joined together as one. Just as these grains of sand can never be separated and poured again into individual containers, so will become the bond of this family. Go ahead, please. Looks good, you guys. If anyone needs a professional sand pourer, I know a couple of people.
That was you, bud.
Well, in closing, I want to remind you both of some simple truths. To make your relationship work, it will take love. This is the core of your marriage and why we are here today. It will take trust to know that in your hearts you truly want what's best for one another. It will take dedication to stay open to one another and to learn and grow together. It will take faith to go forward together without knowing exactly what the future brings. And finally, it will take a commitment to hold true to the journey that you both have pledged here today. Now, may your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitements a marriage should bring. May you need one another but not out of weakness. May you want one another but not out of lack. May you look for things to praise, often say, I love you, and take no notice of small faults. May you have happiness, and may you find it making one another happy. And may you have love, and may you find it loving one another. So, you've come before us today. You've expressed your desire to be made husband and wife. You've exchanged marriage vows and sealed those vows by the giving and receiving of rings. I, therefore, by the power vested in me in the state of Washington, now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Benton.
Romer?
But we appreciate it.